2 angels, harsh and reprimanding, will then come to him. They will reprimand him and will sit him up and ask, "Who is your Lord?" The believer will reply, "My Lord is Allah." They will further ask, "What is your religion?" To which he will reply, "My religion is Islam." The 2 angels will then ask, "Who was that man who was sent to you?" He will reply, "He is the messenger of Allah." They will finally ask him, "And what did you do?" The person will say, "I read the book of Allah, I believed in it, and I considered it to be true." And that is the last trial the believer will experience.
As you see, after 1400 years, Muslims till today, like this Saajid Lipham here, are terrified of the punishment of the grave. As we know, both the Jews of Medina and the pagan Meccans rejected Muhammad, and they used to accuse him of stealing legend stories and fables and implemented them in his new made religion and Quran. You are telling us nothing new, Ya Muhammad. We already know these stories. And if you go to the Quran, for example, chapter 37, ayah 36, we can read, and we're saying, "Are we to leave our gods for a mad poet like you, O Muhammad?" And another ayah, chapter 25, ayah 5 of the Quran, we can read, and they say, "Tales of the ancients, which he, Muhammad, has caused to be written, and they are dictated before him morning and evening." So the Meccans and the Jews, they already knew these legends. They knew about these fables, and they used to tell them to their children. If you are not going to bed, something bad will happen to you, O child. So listen carefully, go to bed. That is an example. So you see, the Jews knew that Muhammad was always plagiarizing their legends and fairy tales and called it divine revelation from Allah. For example, the flying carpet of Solomon. Muhammad was called a madman, a demon-possessed man, and the ear not for nothing. The Jews knew that whatever Muhammad hears, he will adopt into Islam. So they set a trap for him. There were 2 smart Jewish women who went to see Aisha, and they told her about this well-known Jewish legend story, the punishment of the grave. If we go to Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 6366, we can read the following hadith. Narrated Aisha, 2 old ladies from among the Jewish ladies entered upon me and said, "The dead are punished in their graves, but I thought they were telling a lie." So as you see, Aisha immediately understood, there's something wrong here. They are telling me a lie. And if we continue reading, it says, "And did not believe them." So Aisha did not believe them in the beginning. When they went away and the Prophet entered upon me, Aisha says, I said, "O Allah's messenger," 2 old ladies, and she told them the whole story. He, Muhammad, said after hearing it, Muhammad the ear, he said, "They told the truth. The dead are really punished in their graves, to the extent that all the animals hear the sound resulting from their punishment. Since then," Aisha continues, says, "I always saw him, Muhammad, seeking refuge with Allah from the punishment of the grave in his prayers." So you see, Aisha was not stupid. She immediately understands there's something wrong. This cannot be true. This is a lie from the Jews who are always setting a trap for me and my husband Muhammad. But you know, Muhammad hears it and he makes it Islam. He makes it an important doctrine in Islam. So Muslims, don't you see something weird here? Muhammad never told this story about the punishment of the grave, not to his wife Aisha and not to the Sahaba. It was a new thing for Muhammad to hear for the very first time, simply because he was called the ear. He used to plagiarize from here and there whenever he hears a story. Do you see the disaster here? The Jews were so smart. They knew whatever we are going to tell Muhammad, he is going to adopt it into Islam. And this is one of the examples why Muhammad is a fraud, a plagiarizer, a stealer of well-known stories, legends, and fables. Muslims, you need to wake up. Don't be scared of the punishment of the grave. It's a story for children. Please wake up, drop Muhammad and leave Islam. And I invite you to join us in Christianity. Please leave Islam and become a Christian. This is your soul. It's your funeral. Please download our videos, share it on social media, and thanks for watching. And when the soul leaves the deceased body and is carried to his grave, the righteous soul will say, "Bring me closer, bring me closer." And the wicked one will say, "Oh my Allah, where are they taking me?" After the funeral prayer on the deceased is over, the grave will say, "I am the house of exile, I am the house of loneliness, I am the house of dust, I am the house of worms." And as the hadith says, if the human is placed inside his grave and his friends start to leave, his soul returns back to him until he hears their footsteps fade away. And then suddenly two angels appear to him. Their names are Munkar wa Manakir, and they help the deceased to sit straight and start testing him. So if the deceased was a true Muslim believer, they will ask him, "Who is your Lord?" "My Lord is Allah." "What is your religion?" "My religion is Islam." "Who is the man who sent to you?" "He is Rasulullah." "And how do you know?" "I read the book of Allah and I believe in him and accepted him." So he finally passed the exam and he will be rewarded with the gift of Jannah. And an overwhelming voice from above will say, "Oh my righteous Abdul, quickly open for him the doors of Jannah." Then a man with beautiful appearance come by and says, "I am your righteous deeds." But for the kafir, the angels come and ask him, "Who is your Lord?" "I don't know, Madri." "What is your religion?" "I don't know." "Who is the man who lived among you?" "I don't know, Madri." And the angels tell him, "You don't know and you failed your test." And the poor man failed his exam and test, and the punishment of the grave starts, and a voice from heaven says, "He lied, bring down fire upon him." And the angel starts to hammer him down with a big sledgehammer, such amazing big hammer that if you throw it down it can break a mountain into small pieces of rocks and dust. And the kafir screams and cries from the pain and suffering so loud that all creation can hear him except mankind and jinn, and he is struck down until he turns to dust, and Allah turns him back to normal, and the angels strike him down with a final blow, and his grave starts to close around him until he limbs crushed, and earth is commanded to swallow him, and it swallows him completely. And a snake crawls in his grave, and a bold snake called Tha'ban al-Aqra, and the snake starts to eat his flesh from head to toe. And a man appears from out of nowhere with an ugly face, filthy clothes, and a bad smell, and he says, "I'm your wicked deeds." And then his place in fire is shown to him.
Absolutely trashed.